this week hailing New York Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo for passing a historic bill legalizing abortion up until birth.
That's right. We were telling you that earlier, and now Vermont is following their lead by introducing a similar bill that would make late-term abortions a constitutional right.
Here to react, as mentioned, actor and executive producer of Gosnell, the untold story of America's most prolific serial killer, Dean Cain. Good morning, Dean.
Good morning. You're looking good, by the way, in 2019.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, we've come a long way, because when I first started covering politics, Daniel Patrick Moynihan was, the senior senator from this great state of New York, and he at one point was talking about late-term abortion and said partial birth abortion is close, he believed, to infanticide. And yet now this very state where he lived and served for so long has now basically said it's all good.
Yeah, you know what? With that law here in New York and the one they're proposing, or the one I guess just passed in Vermont, did it pass or is it being proposed?
Being proposed in Vermont, I believe.
Well, that would make the crimes of Kermit Gosnell legal, and the things that he did. And
Who was he?
Kermit Gosnell was an abortion clinic doctor in Philadelphia who was performing late-term abortions. In Pennsylvania, the law is at 24 weeks, which is 5.5 months, which is at about 80% viability of a fetus. After that point in time, unless it's extreme circumstances, you weren't able to perform an abortion. And he was doing this well beyond that a lot. He was found guilty for 3 murders, but they could have done it for hundreds.
Yeah.
And he would actually induce birth, where they would have birth with to a live child, and then he would use a pair of surgical scissors to snip their spinal cord.
Terrible.
But that would be legal in New York,
Right.
for the New York law, and what's being proposed in Vermont.
I think you said that was up to 5.5 months in Pennsylvania. Here in New York, it's up to birth. It's up to 9 months. If you change your mind the day before the baby's going to be born, you can have an abortion?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, and they call it the health of the mother. So it's a really fungible thing to say, whether it's the emotional health or whatever it might be. So it's a really
A health emergency, it could be.
Listen, and the point is, if the fetus is not viable, that makes I understand that makes sense.
Right.
But if it's a viable child, I just encourage people to go watch the film Gosnell and then make a decision. I'm not telling anybody what to believe. We don't do that in the film, but we tell the story.
It's a scientific issue and a deeply theological issue. So I'm not trying to make political statements. I also am very aware that I got to walk this strange space, and here's what I mean by this strange space. So I'm going to speak to everyone here, so follow me. I need to, with all the boldness that the Holy Spirit will grant to me, tell everyone in this room that abortion is murder. It is the murder of a human being. I'm gonna have to say it. I'm gonna show it to you in the Word. I wanna prove it to you with science. I wanna just lay it before you and say abortion is murder. And it's a holocaust like the world has yet to see. In fact, just to put it in perspective, Stalin was guilty of murdering 40 million of his own countrymen, Hitler 30 million human beings, and the United States, since Roe versus Wade, not globally, but the United States, has blown past both of those brothers and have made them look angelic as we have slaughtered wholesale 55 million little boys and little girls. So I gotta say that. If I don't say that, then all the things that the secular world says about megachurch pastors become true about me. That I want you to like me, and I want your money, and I want to be famous, and I'm far more afraid of God than I am of you. And so I got to say that, and then yet, so don't aim at me too quick, and yet at the same time, I am no fool. There are murderers among us. And so at the same time that I prophetically and boldly and courageously say abortion is murder, I also need to step into this space knowing that we are guilty of it. Many of us are guilty of it. And maybe we weren't the ones that had the abortion. Maybe we coerced and pressed somebody to have the abortion or just paid for the abortion. I need to say to you, listen to me. Where sin abounds, grace abounds all the more.